I'm Tim Deeks. Welcome to the pathway to homelessness. How many times have you walked past some of the most vulnerable in the community and wondered what events in their life have caused them to fall into hardship? Who's to say if you or I would have been any different if we would have faced similar circumstances? At the end of the day, we are all human and we all have a pathway. So let's start walking.
Obvious one. What's your name?
Ray.
Ray. And where'd you grow up, Ray?
Willis Hill. Pretty nice suburb.
And did you have brothers and sisters?
I've got 3 sisters, but none of us talk anymore.
Yeah.
So it's probably my biggest sadness in life that we don't talk, you know what I mean? But it's because of the husbands and that they don't like me very much, because I know I will never let a man treat a woman badly, and they've all done stuff to my sisters, so I've ended up doing stuff to them. So
Yeah.
I hate men that hit women. I really do. I think only weak people do that.
Are they older, younger?
Or older. I'm the youngest.
Hey.
Yeah.
What were you like as a kid?
I was that kid. I had a speech impediment, constantly teased and bullied because of it. I suppose that's probably the reason why I don't like humans very much. You know, we are the cruelest species upon this planet, without a doubt. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, all you gotta do is look around and all that what we think we need to survive. You know what I mean? But we don't need all this to survive, you know what I mean? And there's no sense of community anymore. You know what I mean? It's sad.
What are the people like that you see day to day? Do you have any like positive interactions with people?
Yeah. I try to fill my days in like going to the library, or at the moment trying to find work, handing out my resumes and all that. But with no fixed addresses, nobody really wants to give you a go, you know what I mean? And I believe in being honest, you know what I mean? Because if you're not honest and then they find out, well, then you just deceive them, and what's the point? So,
What would you like to do as a job?
I'd like to go back out in the ocean. I used to be a commercial fisherman.
Yeah. Amazing. What kind of things did you mainly fish?
All sorts. I did prawn fisheries, crab fisheries, scallops, yeah, long lining, net fishing. 20 odd years I did it, and then basically it was actually a night before I was going to go out to sea back in 2012. And this bloke, he was huge, and he was beating the crap out of this tiny little chick on the main street of Darwin too, like bounces like from here to Dan Murphy's away. And they did nothing, and all I did was try to stop it, you know what I mean? And then he knocked me out, literally with one punch, dragged me past police officers, bouncers, and put my foot in the gutter and went snap. And then I end up with, I've had like 9 bouts of staph now, infection, which is, yeah, that's how I'll never get rid of. So, but yeah,
What did you enjoy most about being a fisherman?
solidarity. Solidarity.
Have you always been like that when you're a kid? Did you spend a lot of time by yourself?
Yeah, well, I never really had friends because I was always teased and picked on. And now I don't know, I just can't trust people. You know what I mean? Like, once you've been hurt like that, and for so long, you know, like, yeah, can't trust people. Like, I could never pronounce words with S in it or things like that, and like I'd be teased because of it, and because I was a chubby kid too, you know what I mean? Like so, and children are probably the most cruelest around, you know what I mean? But I suppose that's probably because they haven't had time to grow and learn and all that. Like I understand that part of it, but it's just sad. It really is that. And it still goes on. Like I was reading in the paper today, like, um, yeah, you know what I mean? Kids at school basically cyberbullying on mobile phones and all that. Like, um, what are kids in school doing with mobile phones? And like, they don't need them.
Yeah.
So, but mind you, when I went to school, we never even had calculators. These days, it's all calculators and everything else. So,
What were some of the things you did enjoy at school?
wagging. But mainly home eco. I just love home eco, and you know what I mean. Well, 'cause I went to a TAFE, you know what I mean, like a tech a technical college. You know what I mean. You don't really see them around anymore. But yeah. So like they had metal work, everything, all that sort of stuff as part of your curriculum. But yeah, and art because I like to draw and paint. It's probably one of my favorite things is to draw. Like I love just sitting there and just drawing people. Like I can sit there for hours and people don't even realize I'm drawing them. Then I walk up and go, "Yeah, have a picture." You know what I mean? Like I'm not too bad a drawer, so
What's their reaction when you present them with the drawing?
some uh some people are really like polite and nice about it, but then a lot of people, some feel make you feel like you're invading their privacy. But the thing is, you're in a public space. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not as if I'm sitting like right in front of them and drawing them. Like, they could be like from here to like to that extent away. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, but
What was your first experience with homelessness?
addiction.
How did that begin?
Um, Depression. Yeah,
What things made you sad?
life. There's not a day that goes by I don't wish the universe would just take me away. To give this existence.
And when you're in those moments,
I wish I had the balls to do it, but I don't. I'm always.
in an ideal world, when you think about your ideal future, what would you want that to look like?
A tree growing on top of me. A tree growing on top of me, because that way I know maybe I could feed it, nourish it, be part of it, and maybe live for 1,000 years. You know what I mean? And see what happens into this world. But I know, like, I know they said like 20 years ago that we'll never hit 2020, you know what I mean? Like, but it does scare me that we are slowly on our way out, you know what I mean? Like, as a human race, like, and, I feel that the only reason we're trying to find another place where we can live, like Mars and colonize and all that, is because we've fucked up this planet so much that we can't fix it. The damage is done, I think, which is sad. One of those
If you could wave a magic wand and change something from your past, what would it be?
reconciliation with my family.
You miss them.
I miss them terrible.
What do you think it would take to
I've tried,
re-engage?
I've tried, and they just don't want to because, yeah, I know, like, probably because I beat the shit out of every one of their partners. But I've only hit them because they've hit my sisters. You know what I mean? Like,
Protect your brother.
yeah, you know what I mean? I'm the baby of the family, but, you know what I mean? Like, ever since I was little, you know what I mean? I was taught how to do martial arts. So, like, I trained martial arts and I did 3 different styles. But mind you, I also contest violence. I hate it. I don't think anybody has the right to be violent towards somebody. But when it comes to my kin, they could ring me up tomorrow and I'd be there for them.
You have children.
No, my kin, my sister,
Oh,
my sisters.
yeah.
And yeah, I'd be there for them. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what. But yeah,
What's your relationship with the community that live on the street?
I don't hang around them.
You don't want anything to do with them.
Not really. There's probably only one person that I have the time for. Her name's Sarah. I've known her for quite a few years. So she used to be a street worker down in St Kilda. And then basically, yeah, I used to let her come use my shower and, you know what I mean, wash my machine, just keep herself tidy and clean 'cause she's always been on the street. And only ever as a friend, you know what I mean? Like, nothing sinister or
Sure.
derogative, you know what I mean? Like, um, and that's what I mean by there's no sense of real community no more. People, all it is me, not a collective. You know what I mean? Like, and it's sad. That's that's probably one of the saddest things that goes through my head.
I think you have a lot of great qualities. Even when I approached you and I started speaking to you, you had this immediate warmth about you, which surprised me when you talked about how you didn't enjoy being around people, because I think you could be a really great people person.
Yeah, but they all end up hurting you some way. You know what I mean? Like, and mentally, I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, mentally, like, it makes me just want to knock myself. Like, when I see the way humanity is towards each other, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah. And like, since I've been on the street, I've been beaten twice while I've been asleep. And by people in houses, you know what I mean? Like, so to speak, you know what I mean? Like, there's people out drinking and having fun, and they see someone homeless and that. And next thing you know, like, you get beaten up. Like, yeah, this is the result of 4 days ago. Like, literally, I was flogged and I woke up in the Alfred Hospital.
How did that happen?
I was asleep and basically 3 people just decided to kick into me. And it wasn't for the bouncers around the corner, like, intervening. I'd hate to think what would have happened. So, and that's why now I stay close to the bouncers at night time because they look after me, like, they keep their eye out for me and they won't let people do things bad to me or, steal off me or anything like that, because I hate thieves. I really do. And the worst thieves on the streets are the other thieves. If anything, we should be there for each other, but we're not. You know what I mean? Like, you know, last night someone gave me some food, you know what I mean? It was way too much for me. So I walked around and was trying to give it out to people I know on the street. And they'll go, no, can't you just give us some money? And it's kind of like, man, I don't have money to give you. Like I've been given this food, like, do you want some? They go, no, peace off. I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough then. Like, you can't be that hungry or destitute, you know what I mean? If you're knocking back food, you know what I mean? Like, believe it or not, it's the first thing I've eaten in 2 days. And it was only because of like 5 minutes before you came along, stopped me, he goes, oh, you're hungry? I went, yeah, I am. Yeah, he gave me some bread and dip, and you know what I mean? But because I don't go to the right places where you can get food and all that. I don't go to them because
Why is that?
just they're full of idiots, and people just always starting trouble there, and you know what I mean? Like some people think that I've got no right to go to them because I've only been on the street for a little bit, you know what I mean? But you know, there's a couple that, and no, half these people on the street that are saying they're on the street, they're not. They're actually not. They live in fucking houses. They live in flats, and like I know you noticed my sign, but it said I wanted work. I don't want people's money. Like I'd rather work. Um, because that way I got my own self sense of pride. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
I think that's the misconception about a lot of people that are homeless, is that they're
90% of them are addicts. They really are. And this ice shit that's phenomenal. You know, like, but yeah,
What was those first experiences like when you became homeless? What was that first night like?
scary as all fuck. I slept in bushes to hide. Actually, just on the other side of here, there's like like down there, but you can go right down and not be seen and all that. And yeah, I probably slept there for probably the first week until basically the council said, mind you, I used to pack up my stuff every day and leave it to Ted, never left rubbish or anything like that. But yeah, the council had me moved on.
You mentioned that you used to volunteer with the homeless.
Yep.
When you were volunteering, did you ever imagine that you would be in this scenario?
Never. Never. Um, but yeah, then had a relationship break up, and you know what I mean, my part, well, not my child, but my partner had a child and that, and there's no way I was gonna put them on the street. I'd rather put myself on the street than put them on the street. Like, it's a woman and a child. Yeah, I know. I've been brought up in a lot of ways. Actually, no. My dad used to say to me, he goes, I didn't bring you up. He goes, I dragged you up the way that the world is meant to be. And for years, I never understood that. But I do now, because the lessons that he taught me were about being humane and just being real, and, you know, and look out for a fellow man, you know what I mean? Um, but yeah. And when me and my siblings were all speaking and all that still, like Christmas Eve, we used to go out and like we'd have all probably spent about $500, each of us, you know what I mean? Like, and I come from a family of six, like siblings. But we'll go buy sleeping bags and like gift cards for like food only and that sort of stuff. And yeah, socks, jocks, and all that, and walk around the city and give them out to people. You know what I mean? Because I know, like, I've I've always been compassionate towards humans, but then when I see their true colours, it's it's just disgusting. It really is.
What is your daily routine like?
I wake up, I go to the toilets, have myself like a little bird bath, just to keep myself clean, not smell. Um, then yeah, I'll generally, you know what I mean, find somewhere like to sit down and read or something like that. Go to the library. Um, yeah, lately for probably the last 2.5 weeks, Monday to Friday, I've been handing out resumes from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
How has the response been? Have you had
I
anyone?
haven't had one response yet. And apparently people are screaming for workers. You know, you hear all the time that, oh, there's so much work around, people offering this and that and everything else. But yeah, like, I don't know, like,
Don't lose hope.
I think maybe I'm just cursed. I feel like I am at times. For some reason, the universe won't let me step off. No, I'd love to be able to just go to sleep and not wake up. That would be my ultimate goal. But mind you, if I was a drug addict or an alcoholic or along those lines, I would be housed straight away.
Why do you think you haven't gotten housed yet?
Well, because I'm on the waiting list and I'm not priority because I don't have any afflictions. I can afford to pay rent, you know what I mean? Like, I get a DSP, you know what I mean? Like, so I can afford to pay rent and all that. But, you know what I mean? Just the hostels, like in that, I stay away from because this shit just gets stolen. Um, you, you're safer on the street. You really are.
What's one of your wishes for how people would treat someone such as yourself that is in this situation?
Compassion.
What does that look like?
For me, it, it's not being judged. Um, because you are homeless and you are judged when you're homeless. Unfortunately, everybody puts you in a class as an addict or something else, and even when you're not, you still get treated like you're one. You know what I mean? Like, I got beaten up, like I said, like, I've got my head, like, actually on my big razors on my back, where I put them on the ground and all that. And today, when I was walking along the street, like, and I asked the bloke if I could buy a cigarette off him, right? Because I don't believe getting stuff for nothing, you know what I mean? Like, um, and he just looks at me and goes, no, look at you. He goes, you're a crackhead. I said, no, I'm not. He goes, no, look at you. Look at your face. I said, I'm not being no. He goes, I don't believe you. He goes, you're a crackhead. And then for 15 minutes, I was actually scared to walk away because I know he started getting aggressive when I said goodbye. And I said, look, I gotta go, goodbye. And he started getting aggressive. He goes, no, you stay. I want to talk to you. I gave you a cigarette. You owe me that. I said, look, man, I'll give you $1 for the cigarette. I offered to pay you for it. He goes, I don't want your money. But I don't know. People all just for themselves these days, I find. And that's sad. Really is.
Ray, thank you so much for telling your story. I really appreciate it.
We can't choose the hand that we've been dealt in life.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in fate. I believe in a higher power, but not as a person, not as a god. I look at a tree, you know what I mean, or a flower, and that's a higher power to me because it's just beauty. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you go in the middle of the bush and you sit there by yourself with no noise around you. It's like if you can actually hear trees talk. But yeah, I'm not crazy. Don't think.
Nah, man. I'm just like, I just think that there is a reason that you're still here.
Someone keeps on telling me I'm here for a purpose. It's got me fucked what?
You'll find it, Ray. You'll find it, mate. You'll find it. I really believe that.